Hello everyone, how are you all? Everyone fine? I am also doing super. Today I am here to discuss the 5 basic tips for presenting your answer in CA exam. Normally when I say presenting properly your answer in CA exam, it does not mean that you should write down your answer paper in good handwriting. Can I say at this point of time we cannot improve our handwriting? Therefore, whatever handwriting you have, that only you follow in exam. Only one suggestion I can give, that whatever you're writing, you should write in such a way that it can be understood by the examiner. Believe me, in CA exam, marks are never given based on handwriting. Correct? So whatever handwriting you have, that only you can follow. Don't worry about that. So when I say presenting properly your answer in CA exam, it means there are some guidelines that we need to follow, so that if you follow that guidelines, your marks are not deducted because you are not following that. So today we are here to discuss that 5 basic guidelines that we need to follow while answering your paper in CA exam. Before I discuss that 5 points, don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video, because when you like the video, it motivates me to create a video of this nature which will help you in your CA exam. So can we start a discussion? The first point, very simple point, everyone know this point, but then also I need to say that start every answer in a fresh page. So whenever you are starting a question, then you start that question with the fresh page. For example, there is question number 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. So question number 1A should be written in a fresh page. Question number 1B should be also written in the fresh page only. Correct? So don't start any question immediately after the completion of the previous question. Understood? So every question should be started with a fresh page. Understood? Second point, mention the question number clearly. I will suggest you that you should mention your question number in the mid of the paper very clearly. For example, I will just illustrate how to mention the paper. Just try to understand. Suppose this is a fresh page, you starting question number 1A. So you should write down question number like this, question number 1A, and you should give a box so that anyone can understand this question and start writing after this. Understood? Correct. Then once it is completed, start a new page, and then once again write down at the middle of the page question number 1B. Understood? Correct. Yes, sir. Now the third point is what? Use the last 2 pages of the answer sheet for your rough work. Normally what happens in a practical examination, for example FR or costing or SFM, you require some rough work. It is quite possible. Normally I have seen the student do rough work in the main solution only. So examiners who is checking your paper might be confused that this rough work is a part of working note or it is not a part of working note. Therefore I will always suggest you that always whatever rough work, if required, do at the last 2 pages of the answer sheet. Correct? Understood? So last 2 pages can be used for the rough work, but one point you need to keep in your mind, that before handing over your answer paper to the invigilator, just don't forget to cross that rough work whatever you have done. Correct? So just give a cross mark so that it can be understood by the examiner, whoever is checking your paper, this last 2 pages has been used for the rough work, and you can give a title on this page that it is a rough work. Understood? Yes, sir. So you can use the last 2 pages giving a title that it is a rough work, and cross mark that rough work whatever you have done before handing over the answer paper to the invigilator. Understood? Then last, fourth point, very important point, write all the subset of a question together only. Means just try to understand, you need to, suppose you are starting question 5 first, means can I see, you can start with any question in exam. Suppose you know question 5 first, you can start with question 5, then you can start with question number 1, then you can start with question number 3. But in question 5 there can be 4 subset. So if I am saying 4 subset, 5A, 5B, 5C, 5D, so question 5A followed by 5B followed by 5C followed by 5D should be written together. Means you can't write down in this way 5A then 3B then 1C. Can you see? It is quite possible that in that case examiner will not be able to understand it for which question you are answering, and it is quite possible that for some question marks may not be given. Correct? So this may be one of the reason that your marks may be reduced. Understood? So write all the subset of a question together. Got it? Yes, sir. Now last point, don't overwrite. Don't overwrite any amount or any word. because it is quite possible that when you are overwriting any amount of word, it cannot be understood by the examiner. If they have not understood, it is quite possible that they have not given marks for that, even though you have corrected it. Correct. Now how to avoid overwriting, that I need to explain. Just try to understand. Suppose this is the question which you are writing, so to avoid overwriting, how you should write down, that I am just informing you that how you should write down. So when you are writing any answer, just so after writing one line, I will suggest that don't write down immediately after that. Leave one space and then after that start writing. Correct. You can see, you can write down in this way, so that if you have done some mistake, suppose you have done mistake, suppose you have done some mistake here, so you just can delete it and can write down below this, because you have some space there. I'll just give you the one sample for this, for my answer. Just check this, what I have done. For example, I have prepared this statement. You can see in class also, whenever I'm writing the solution, I'm just leaving one space after one line, because in class I can also do mistake. So if suppose what I have done, key instead of 1 lakh, means instead of 5 lakh I have written 1 lakh. Now I need to change that amount. So what I will do, I'll just cut it and just I will write down below this. So there is no need to now overwrite. So in this way you can avoid overwriting in exam, because once you overwrite, it is quite possible that it is not understood by the examiner and marks can be deducted for that particular reason. These are the 5 basic tips. I hope you have understood the entire 5 basic tips, and this will really help you in what improving your marks. Correct. So all these 5 tips should be in your mind. Correct. Hope you have liked the video and this will help you in your exam. Thank you very much. All the best for your exam. Keep smiling, keep preparing. Bye bye. Take care. Love you all.